What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Generational Sports. It's been a long time, as me and Josh were just saying, catching up kind of backstage. Been too long since we've done a show. Holidays got involved, life gets involved, but hey, we're back, better than ever, and in a better late than never kind of scenario here.
Exactly.
And listen, things might have changed over times, but the one thing that will never change is that I can't even start the program unless I know how my guy Josh is doing. So, Josh, what's going on there, killer?
So many things. I did achieve, something that every man dreams of, which is winning a Dynasty League championship.
You
Uh,
did.
and it might have been the greatest championship ever due to the fact I missed the playoffs the year prior, was in my bag all off season, and put together a championship
Is this the
roster.
league that I'm in?
Yes, it is. It is that. It is
Which
the
one?
y'all got any more of them leagues
Who
league.
won that league?
I won that bad boy. Uh, got a couple breaks. Travis Kelsey was not playing good when I faced him in the playoffs. That was during that stretch where he was not Travis Kelsey. Ran into CMC and Mahomes in the finals and somehow came out on top. Uh, it was a beautiful run. You know, I think it's probably one of the most things I'm proud of because I was really in my bag in the offseason. Like it was crazy. Also, I'm rocking a hairstyle I've never had before. I just thought about doing it because I was like, you know what? I was thinking because I've had almost every hairstyle. I've tried them all,
Okay.
and this is what I'm rocking right now.
Oh,
Short boy.
you
I
going
like it.
baldy out here,
Yeah,
eh?
like literally all the way, and it's grown back a little bit. It was real low.
Honestly, I kind of messed with it.
That's what I'm saying, right? When I first did it, it didn't look perfect, but I rock with it. But as you can
Kinda-
see here, funny story about this non-hair area, right?
Okay,
And I'm sure you can relate to this because you grew up with siblings and were also a WWE fan. Um,
still am.
yeah,
I got to
exactly,
lock in the Raw in 20 minutes.
exactly. When me and my brother I was like 8, he was probably 9 or 10. Um, he's a big Rey Mysterio fan, right? And we always tried to do the
I'd have hit a
finishers. And
619.
yeah, 619. And we would always, scheme up how can we do this? And of course, me, younger brother, no real argument here. I will not be the one, doing the 619. I will be getting it done to me.
Okay,
So we had a couch, and then right in the corner of the room was a fireplace, brick bottom, all that, right?
not a good positioning.
Yeah. So the idea was he jumps off the couch, flings me forward to the couch, and then comes around and does it. Uh, he jumps up, legs on, flings me, doesn't fling me to the couch, right to the corner of the fireplace.
Oh,
Head bashes on it, rips my hair out. Got caught in between a couple bricks. You could see the hair there, blood everywhere. And I completely forgot about it until I cut my hair. I was like, what is this? I was like, oh, yeah, Alex tried to kill me that day. But yeah, that's the story behind that. Yeah, other than that, nothing really new. I mean, I'm champ, baby. It's one of the best feelings of the world.
you know what?
Celebrating like a
I've been
champion.
there. I've won a couple leagues in my days, and there really is nothing like it. This might have been my worst year in fantasy of all time. Uh, I missed the playoffs in a lot of leagues that I was in. Definitely didn't. I don't think, especially in those sleeper leagues, I definitely didn't lock in at all.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of forget about them because contrary to what people say, I'm a big ESPN guy. Like sleeper was the new one to me.
Yeah,
Like so, everybody, oh yeah, I love sleeper, whatever. But I don't know, it's just not on my like to do list to check.
right.
So
And then
there's
mine was the opposite. I always check sleeper, not ESPN.
yeah. So I definitely had a few times where I would go into sleeper, and all of a sudden, half the team was on the bye. Not exactly what you want,
Mm-hmm.
um, especially considering yes, I still did pay to be in those leagues. Then again, some of those leagues on sleeper, I just did not have any luck. I think one of them, Nick Chubb out for the year. I think I had Watson in another one who was trash. and then out for the year. I think I had Kirk Cousins in the exact same one. I think Deshaun and Kirk were my two quarterbacks. I think I only had two QBs. So once they were both out for the year, I was kind of screwed anyway. Um, yeah, definitely. I had quite the opposite almost of you, but I'm happy for you. Yeah,
With the winnings, I did give myself a treat.
sure.
As the show knows, I've been in the trading cards, sports trading cards for a while now. So I
Mhm.
bought some rather expensive ones, and I
Okay.
did pull. Funny enough, the hit of the box was this bad boy right here, Jacob
Oh,
Alexander. Gold, blue, Asia box. 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10. So
wow.
I looked for comps. There are none of the other 10 out there, but the
I
one
was going to
out of
say, how much are we
25,
looking?
the 1 out of 25 was being bid for, and the highest bid was $150. So I think
Okay.
my out of 10 one would do better. And the box that it came in was $70. So profit. It's beautiful.
Okay.
It
That
was like
is
a
what we
little
like
kid
to see.
opening it. It's awesome.
That's what we like to see. Hey,
hmm
you love to see it.
I was thinking about doing something funny with the with the championship when I started off with like the greatest achievement a man can have, and I was going to spiel about the face thing. I was going to be like, "Oh yeah, and I'm also having a baby." That too.
Imagine.
So I thought that would have been funny, but I was like, no, I'll
Would
probably
have had a heart
botch it.
attack. Would have had a heart attack.
The
Uh,
one thing bad about this haircut is my head is cold all the time.
yeah. See, I
All
can't relate. I mean, when I get a haircut, usually I go above the ear on the
Mhm.
hair. So when I get a haircut, the ears do get a little chilly. But my head has not been cold probably my entire life.
It was a shocker the first time it happened. Walked outside to go warm up the car. I was like, "Oh God, no! I need a hat right
Yeah,
now."
exactly. You got to pull the beanie out.
Sometimes sleep with one on. That's how bad it can get.
They do say a lot of heat releases through there in the feet, the toesies.
I think I'm rocking this though for a while. I like it. I
I,
like it
I you
short.
know I'm a fan. I'm a
I
fan.
get it. If I get it lined up, it'll look even cleaner. Keep the
I
beard
say
lined up.
line up the beard a little bit.
Yeah, line up the beard.
I
Get
mean, I'm
the.
one to talk with all this
Not
going on,
saying I gotta get cleaned up too. I
but
feel you.
I hate shaving. It's such a pain in my ass.
And then when you mess it up, it gets you so mad because then you got to try to adjust everything else to where you messed up.
See, I've never actually gotten edged up like my beard by
hmm
my goatee by anybody.
I try not to because the last time I did it was prom my senior year, and I asked them to line me up, gave me a chin strap, and I looked like an absolute tool.
Yeah, that is.
Not good. When he started going low, I was like, "Is he? What is he?" And he kept going low. I was like, "Well, it's too late now. There is nothing I
I
can do
feel like
about it."
that's just foul on his end because you said line me up, not
Yeah,
shave me
exactly.
down.
I guess his definition of lineup is chin strap.
It's just not what you want. Simply
Yeah.
isn't. All right.
How are
How
you
about
doing? Any news from
oh,
you?
I'm all right. Same old, same old.
I heard you're
Um,
gonna be a father.
yeah, imagine
Congratulations.
that certainly not happen. I no, nothing new, same old in the funding. With the other show I'm doing with Chris,
Hmm,
we're up to like 7,100 subs over there, so
okay.
it's been going well over there. Um, yeah, I mean nothing. I decided, quite. This is sounds so adult, but like quite the opposite of you. I was bored one day, and like you said, you went and bought out the boxes or whatever. I was bored one day, and I don't know why. How like you get in those certain moods, like I'm gonna plan, I'm gonna plan for the future or something. Blah blah blah.
hmm
I went on Robinhood and I put like $100 into stocks and stuff. Like I actually know what the hell I'm doing.
Right, right.
And I was like, I think I can buy these low and blah blah.
Watch the market. See them,
Yeah, watch. I'm gonna invest in the S&P 500 and blah blah. Well, I bought like $50 no, I bought technically I bought $100. I put $50 into two different stocks. So now we got to hope that Lucid, which is like an electric car company, I think,
Mm,
and I bought Plug, which is a they like make parts for the electric cars.
mm.
So I'm hoping all of a sudden that they go crazy. And
Speaking
I
of all the stocks and stuff and exchange and all that, have you ever watched Succession?
oh I saw your tweets and I have. It's funny. It's funny that you binge watched it because I did the same thing up to season 3.
Mm.
And no. I think I did the same thing up to season 4, and then season 5 came out, and I never watched it. And then one day I sat down and I watched like the first like 5 episodes of it, and then I didn't watch it again. I watched like the 6th and
Mm.
7th episode a couple days ago. I don't know why. So maybe it's because it's just not hitting for me the same. Like I'm also so close to the end that like I have to see it. You know what I mean?
I got to a point like when I was watching it, nonstop every day. I got to a point where I had to stop because I was getting a little burnout. I wasn't enjoying it as much as I had earlier.
You know what's the funny part is you binge watch Succession. Do you know what I recently have been binge watching?
Hmm.
Yellowstone.
Oh, my dad watched that recently. I haven't heard good things,
I'm
but I haven't checked
I'm
it
a
out.
I'm a big fan. It's low key a western, not as violent, not as it's very good. Like it's like I give it like an 8 out of 10. It's like a western lesser version of The Sopranos, if you
They
ask
got
me.
a couple spin-offs too, right?
Yeah, there's I think it's like 1883 and then like 19 something. I don't know. I haven't watched them. Um but it's all like the same family too.
Mm.
So each show it follows the Duttons.
Mm.
Make me want to go become a cowboy. Go get a horse.
Bro, I've been talking like all the characters in Succession
Oh
too.
no, it's what happens every time. I watch Sopranos. I
It's
wanted to
crazy.
be, I watched Sopranos. I wanted to become a member.
I
Uh,
finish every conversation with like "fuck off" because Logan Roy just that's always what he says.
Logan, yeah.
That's one of those characters like he's one of the best characters I've ever seen because in every like scene where he walks in, like he just takes over the room every time. Like the air
Him
just gets
dying
sucked
was
out.
like,
Do what?
I said when he died, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, it was out of nowhere, and I'm not gonna lie. After he died, fell off a
Kind of
bit.
killed it slightly, didn't it?
Yeah, it fell off a bit with just the kids going back and forth.
See here's my thing too, because I looked it up because it was annoying me because I kind of like wanted to like when I restarted because I was like I said I was already on like the 7th episode of the last season. I just had stopped it at that point, so like I kind of wanted to go back like watch a couple recap videos. Since you just binge watched it, I could have swore the ending of the first season was when Kendall, right? He's the
He's the
drug
one
addict.
always trying to take over. He's the
Yeah.
one always trying to take over.
Doesn't the first season end with him giving the press conference about his dad?
No, I think that's season because it. I don't think it could be
I
because
could have
that would have had to have been no. Season 1 ended when he killed the kid.
that when so is it just a random episode that ends with him
It
giving
is because episodes will throw you off there because an episode will feel like such a finale, and then you're like, "There's two more." Like when he tried to take the company the first time, like
yeah,
the
that's what
vote
I'm
of no
saying. Like and
confidence.
he like comes out and like makes the big speech.
That was after because his dad like basically had him by the balls and was like, "Hey, you have to do whatever I say, and now we're gonna throw you under the bus and say that you knew about the cruises." And he was like, "Okay, I'll do it," and then flipped it. I think that was season 2.
I could like
I don't know. It all meshes together for me because I
yeah, I was
watched it
gonna say
just
like
straight
maybe
on.
I could because I could have swore that was like the ending of the first season, and I went back on Wikipedia and like read what each episode was about,
Mm-hmm.
and they said that, and I was like, I feel like Wikipedia is wrong, but
The ending of it, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it's like I hated it so much that it was perfect. Like it was exactly how the show went the entire time, and they didn't like try to do anything that wasn't what they built. So it was
I think my other thing
great.
too that because I did it with totally different genre, but I did it with Full House too. Like I have like 10 episodes of Full House left. That like I literally sat there and like banged out each episode, and
Mm-hmm.
now I have like 10 episodes left, and I just refuse to watch it. I think it's because I just don't want it to end. You know what I
That's
mean?
how it was with Succession.
Because then it's like now I literally just have not like even Yellowstone. Like I'm on the last episode of the 4th season, and then I have all of like the first half of season 5 to watch, and the second half is supposed to come out later this year, I think. But like I was like going, and now like I've slowed down a little bit because I know it's like, damn, do I really feel like waiting?
I think what I'm gonna dive into next is True Detective. I think I'm gonna dive into that.
Yeah, I don't think I don't know.
McConaughey and Woody Harrelson. I'm excited to
I
see.
think honestly, considering that I watched Yellowstone, I feel like I have to go and watch like 1883 and all the other ones.
Right.
Also, season 2 of the Halo series is coming out like February 2nd. Everybody hated it. The first season, everybody hated it. I mean, I didn't think it was the greatest thing of all time, but like I'm gonna watch season 2.
I'm gonna watch it, but they just showed his face too early, man. It wasn't supposed
Yeah,
to
that
be
is the
real.
one thing. Like the whole thing with Master Chief was like you never saw his face. This man was demasked like 84 times in the show.
It quickly went from Master Chief to just Pablo Schreiber, the actor. Like it
Like I
didn't
was.
feel like Master
What
Chief.
else is he from? Why do he look so familiar?
He's in a lot of things. Well, what else is he really known for? I can't think of it. But he is in a lot of things. He's a bad guy in a lot of things.
It's gonna annoy me. Oh, I watched Echo too.
I haven't watched Echo yet.
I thought it was mid '99.
I started it and I saw that there were aliens from another planet that I didn't know. I was like, we can't keep doing this. Like, we can't.
Yeah, that's the part that really threw me off.
I wanted it to be a streets, underground, kingpin running the mob and all that, and it's rated R, so I was hoping it was going to be like really, really good.
I mean, there are a couple. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like I don't think rated R is kind of strong to me. I guess they have to because like blood and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But there were a few times where I was like, okay, Disney. I was like, wow.
It's the first TV mature they've done. Like this is the first time they're trying it.
Did you watch What If season 2?
I did. Loved it.
I maybe I'm falling out of love with Marvel because I see that didn't do much for me.
Really, you didn't like the throwback to like they're all like. I thought I mean, it wasn't as good as season 1. I don't think.
You know what it is? Maybe I think it's the fact that it's not like episodic. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where like each one leads into the next. Like I like storylines, and like obviously one episode is a story, and then all the way at the end, like they bring the people together and stuff. But like it's not like the same. I don't know. I think I like more of a plot and story than like a one episode. And which is funny to say that because I literally just said I binge watched Full House, which is I don't know.
I think Marvel screwed themselves a bit, and now they're realizing it because they kind of like they had the formula that 9 to 10 year stretch where you really build it up, build the characters, and then boom, Infinity War Endgame, takes over the world. They kind of tried to look, they too many branches. They just tried to do so many.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Like, but now with Kang, with Jonathan Majors, who knows? Like, I mean, it's gonna be very interesting to see what they do.
There's a lot going on that I think that's the other reason where it's like, bro, how many different things do I have to follow right now?
But Star Wars Mandalorian movie,
I know.
So
I hope it's just actually him.
Yeah, I mean,
that last season pissed me off.
You didn't like? Yeah, the last season was.
Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed it, but it's like I watched The Mandalorian because I messed with him. Like he's cool.
Right.
Like I watched Boba Fett because I thought it was going to be about Boba Fett, and then all of a sudden it's him. And I was like, don't get me wrong, he's cool, but he's just like weird.
Yeah.
And Boba Fett had those. No, it was Mandalorian that had that dumbass episode with like the doctors and.
Yeah, that was Mandalorian, where it's just not even the Mandalorian.
Yeah, like nobody was. I was like, all right, listen, whatever. It's been about I don't know, 20 minutes. Haven't said a lick about sports yet, but hey, as we always say, it's our show. If you don't like it, well, that's just too damn. UFC 297. Really, only one thing worth talking about, and that's obviously the main event. That was a terrible card. Awful.
Yeah, I mean, I had very low expectations, so it was a little bit better than I thought it was going to be. Co-main was terrible.
I mean, God, was that awful.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not even one of those like weirdos that's like women's fights are just terrible, blah, blah, blah. Like, I thoroughly enjoy him. Like, I'm always pumped when Valentina's on the card. I loved Rose up until that last fight that she had, that last title fight she had, which was the worst fight of all time. But like, I usually thoroughly enjoy them. That fight was just terrible. I mean, that was
the only good things about the main card were the main event and Neil Magny, coming back with very little time left in the fight. That was really the only two highlights. And Bueno Silva losing that co-main killed my parlay, so that was an even more frustrating fight because it sucked and lost me money.
The fact that she literally was just laying on her back at the end,
Yeah,
knowing that she's down was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
yeah, it was stupid, very frustrating. But the main event, Strickland versus Dricus du Plessis. They said at the presser till the death they shook on it, and I don't know. I think it was the right decision. I think
I tweeted it out. I had DDP 3-2.
Yeah, I thought he lost round one, I think, and
Two
then
through
I
four, he
thought he
won.
won the next. I thought he won the next three, and then the fifth round you could make a decision. Like I thought,
Yeah, I had him losing one, 2 through 4, and then he lost 5.
yeah. I mean, Strickland that technique and that like strategy can only go so far. It was
Yeah.
a shocker against Izzy because he is a great counter striker, but when you got a guy pressing you like DDP does, it's gonna wear on you, and you can't really do anything off that. His jab was nasty all
Oh,
fight. You could see it on DDP's eye, but I don't know. Just I thought he waited too long to try something new. Like when he got out of that stance and was just kind of attacking and throwing, I thought that was working better. He just waited too long.
see, and the thing that annoys me, not only about the UFC, but like sports in general now, is that like I feel like you have to say the extreme or you're like not making a point. Because like now
Mm-hmm.
it's he was 100% robbed. That's a
Mm-hmm.
terrible call, like a terrible decision. Well, he was robbed. Really?
No, not
Robbed?
really.
Like that is a crazy word for that fight.
It's being overused. Every decision people don't agree
No,
with are like he
yeah,
got robbed.
if you disagree, he was like if the wrong person won the fight in your eyes, it's robbery. Like no, sometimes it's a close fight and you can have things one way or another.
Yeah,
Like
like I think we all agree UFC judges stink and they rarely get it right. But when it's a close fight like that, to where one round could be the difference, you can't really call it a robbery unless they do call it like they have like 2-10-8 rounds when there was
yeah, I was gonna
clearly
say like
never.
if there's like a weird, or I mean you can call it a robbery, I guess, if like one judge is like 10-8 while all the other ones
Yeah,
were like 10-9, because then it's like that's a little fishy, I guess. You know what I
right.
mean? But I feel like robbery just gets like, he lost by one singular round. Like a robbery should be if you think he won rounds like 1 through 4,
Hmm.
and then it's 3-2. Like I
Yeah,
guess you can consider that a robbery because then it's like, how the hell did he lose 2 rounds? Or like, I, I mean, I'm trying to think of even like robberies that happened recently.
haven't been too many. I mean,
Yeah, like don't get me wrong. I think there's, like I said, a few times where I believe the wrong person won,
yeah,
but like a straight up robbery where like everybody's confused as to how it happened.
yeah.
I don't.
I
I
can't. I
just.
can't remember the last one honestly. The last one that like really got me mad. Like, are you kidding me? Like, how is that the decision there?
I feel like I do feel like there was one that kind of happened recently, but I don't know what it was. So obviously it couldn't have been that bad.
I mean, Hamza versus Kamaru Usman wasn't a robbery, but that
Yeah,
was
I mean, see, that's one where I think Kamara won.
yeah,
Like I think he won that fight, but is it a robbery? No.
yeah, yeah. I can't. I mean, there was a fight in the prelims that was a robbery that got scored for Roman Tavares versus somebody else too. The Dana White contender series guys. It was actually their third fight against each other. They'd knocked each other out both times.
Oh yes, I feel.
And
I
then
heard.
the guy that lost was pressuring and throwing the whole fight, and Tavares wasn't landing a lot either. But it's like, octagon control is what judges love. And, the guy that lost had it the whole time, and he wound up losing split decision. So, I mean, I
Yeah.
won that fight, though. So I wasn't mad in the moment, but I was like, uh-oh, that guy that was
Speaking
robbery.
of betting, I don't know if you saw my tweet
Did not.
about I might never be able to do it again. Might never be.
What'd you take?
Are you good with UFC? Can I transition a little bit here?
I just want to say Justin Gaethje, Max Holloway, BMF is
Oh,
going to be a banger. UFC 300 is going to go crazy, but that's about it.
I'm still rooting for Gaethje, by the way. Have to. It's my
Going to be
guy.
very interesting. Very interesting
My
because
guy.
Holloway's barely ever been touched. So I think Gaethje can touch him.
I think Gaethje's my favorite fighter, besides John Jones.
I think he is too. I think he's your favorite fighter. I think
I,
anytime he's around or being
big
talked about,
fan.
you're hyped. Yeah.
Big fan. If he fought
All I'm
every
saying also too on 297, if Sean Strickland gets an immediate rematch, Brandon Moreno should have the belt wrapped around his waist right now. It's bull crap that he didn't get the rematch.
That is
Because
true.
Brandon Rand was my favorite fighter, so it still
He's up
gets me
there
back.
too. I mess with him. He's cool as hell.
Yeah, he's a killer. I love it. He's funny too.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, betting. So we'll kind of transition. I mean, let's get the game that everybody wanted to see. Start that off. Chiefs and the Bills. Obviously, the Chiefs come out on top against the Bills in the playoffs yet again, 27-24. Missed the field goal at the end. The Bills do wide right, the two worst words in Bills history. They lost the Super Bowl that way against the Giants. They lose this game that way. But before I get into the game, the whole weird thing now that like Josh Allen isn't like that level is super weird to me. Like if he played bad and he lost the game, I understand. What
Mm-hmm.
more do you want the dude to do?
Yeah.
Like
That's why QB wins as a stat gets me so mad. Wins and losses for a QB stat get me so mad because Josh Allen balled out in every way he possibly could. He put the ball in the basket for Diggs to Sherfield.
The one who complains, I feel, the most about getting the ball, and he lays an absolute dot to him. It goes right through his hands.
Yeah, crazy.
I mean, listen, the one throw you wish you had back for Josh Allen is obviously two Diggs. He was open in the middle of the field. He tried for the touchdown to Raymond in the end zone. But like, dude was an absolute beast running the ball. Didn't turn the ball over, nothing. So that whole thing of like he's like down a notch now or whatever is the weirdest. It's weird energy to me.
That game is just. I mean, it's been happening through the playoffs too. Like people blaming Hurts for the Eagles losing bothers me too. They're blitzing 7 every play. Maybe don't go empty and drop back, coach. Like maybe get them some help back there. What if you couldn't do anything?
Their coaching staff needs a nice little reboot.
Yeah, they need. I mean, the fact that Matt Patricia somehow got the headset in the sheet another time, it just blows my mind.
It's
Belichick treat. Belichick treat.
Bold strat. Damn, it's been a while. Belichick's not even with the Pats anymore.
Yeah, how did you feel about that? Where are you?
I mean, I saw it coming. The only thing that annoys me, and it's the same thing that happened with Brady, the fact that you get no compensation for it just pisses me off. Like I would have been like, listen, Bill, we'll like go find a team that wants you, but I don't care if it's a 7th round pick. We're getting something for you.
Right.
And that takes too long, whatever. Nah, that annoys me. Bro, I wanted him to get traded and get like a 1st round pick.
If the Saints got compensation for Sean Payton, they should absolutely.
He's a 6-time Super Bowl winning champion. I got a kiss goodbye.
Right. Yeah, literally.
Like not even a kiss. That would have been I got dapped up.
Yeah. No, you got an Irish goodbye. Actually, he just left. That's it.
Like that is wild to me. It annoys me to no end.
You like Gerard Mayo though? You excited about that?
I don't know. He's never been a head coach before. You know what I mean?
That's what's been crazy to me. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's going to be great." I'm like, "How do you know that? The biggest shoes you could ever have to fill, and you're a first-time head coach. I mean, he's got the best mentor. You know, Bill obviously.
So is everybody else off this coaching tree. And they've been
Patricia, Joe Judge. But I don't know. People are kind of saying it's a home run already. I'm like, we got to see. I mean, he's not dealing with a lot right now, so got to see how it pans out. But I think he'll be okay. He'll be all right.
Anyway, the reason I'm done betting. Jahmyr Gibbs, 77.5 total yards. Got it. Baker Mayfield special, half a yard, obviously. Dalton Kincaid, 38.5 receiving yards. Easy. Josh Allen, 48.5 rushing yards. Easy. Final leg. Times 20. Times 20 of the money. I listen, don't get me wrong, was not guaranteed. But Patrick Mahomes, I needed 41 more passing yards.
I thought you were going to say James Cook. James Cook. That is a 41 from Mahomes. I mean, what was the number? What was the total?
It was 255.5.
Wow, that's crazy. That not hitting in the game against the Bills.
That's what I'm saying. All of a sudden, everybody wanted to be a running team. Since when?
James Cook on FanDuel, his total was 61.5. Entering the fourth quarter, he had 67. His next 4 carries, -4, -3, 0, 1 yard. He finished 61, half a yard over. When he entered the fourth, he had it
Holy
over
shit.
by 5. I'd be sick. I'd be sick. I'm doing good betting right now. I am every day regretting cashing out the Ravens at plus 1,800 that I had preseason. Every day I regret that because I cashed out for the $10 I bet on it and lost a parlay with it for no reason. Cash out in the future. But I did get the Chiefs at plus 700, so rocking with that one right now. Plus 700 on the Chiefs when I saw that. And that was after they had already won. I was like, okay, thank you. But yeah, it's tough, man. Betting's tough. And one thing I got to say, I love my brother, and it's fun, me and him talking about betting. But every time he wins, he sends it to me. Every time. And, I'm happy for him.
Who's this? Sorry, I missed it.
My brother. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, my brother does the same thing. My brother yesterday texted me when there's, no time left in the game. What did he say? He said, I need one more reception for 450 from Kincaid. Where was the energy? Where was the hey stupid? This is my bet. What do you think? You want
literally.
This looks good. No,
my brother, I'm out here.
He just sends me screenshots of what the parlay is at the end of the game, showing me.
Literally, my brother will send me something. I think he turned 5 into 278 on the Lions Bucks game. And he just sends it to me. And meanwhile, I just lost 4 $20 bets on college basketball. I'm so happy for you, bro. Maybe drop it in before so we can celebrate together. We could have a hell of a night together.
We could have won halves and halves.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy he's winning, but you just don't got to send me everyone because I'm out here getting my ass kicked. It's not super fun.
Like I said, anyone Kincaid, and then of course he sends a text. Kincaid literally, I think on the next play got the catch. And meanwhile, I'm sitting there sweating 41 yards. And of course, I didn't get it. Anyway, so I hate betting forever.
I also needed, there was a special on FanDuel plus 2,800 for Chiefs and Bills to score a touchdown and field goal each in each half. So when Bass missed that, it just, because I was really hoping he makes that, Chiefs drive down, kick a game winner, because I also had Chiefs money line. It was perfectly set up. And he had to shank that.
I just tough. 41 yards. It reminds me of the Super Bowl.
The wins make it worth it, though. That's the wins.
It's like the Super Bowl last year. I needed who was the Eagles running back last year?
Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders touchdown, 2,500. No, Jalen Hurts has 3 instead.
Tough life out here, man.
Absolutely makes me sick to my stomach. Let's see. Ravens beat the crap out of the Texans.
Yeah.
Kind of saw that coming. But, hey, Texans are going to be here for a while.
Yeah, they got a team. I mean, they got
Stroud is
so good. So good. And you know what? It is possible there are 2 good quarterbacks in the draft class. I don't think the Bills are beating themselves up for passing on Lamar Jackson for Josh Allen. No. It's possible, It's possible to have 2 good quarterbacks in a draft class. But CJ Stroud looks like he might be the best quarterback to ever touch the football field. So that would be a rookie. Listen, I get told every day that Cam Newton sucked, and at the time he had the greatest rookie season of all time. So things can turn on you quickly. But he does have, great coach, really good team. So it's not the same situation. But yeah, he balled out this year. Balled out.
Did you see the quote by Will Anderson? I felt like that was like a superhero movie.
Yeah, I felt
he was like Will Anderson was crying. CJ Stroud came over and said, "Don't worry, we're good. We'll be back again." Will Anderson said, "Cap said we'll be good, so we're good." I was
like, "That's not the Avengers, man.
That's what I'm saying." I felt like I was in the Avengers HQ or whatever.
Yeah, seriously.
Like getting a pre battle speech.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Cap said it. Cap said
we're good, man. Hey, he's probably right. They're going to be fine.
Yeah, they're fine. I mean, they overachieved by a mile this season, so they're good.
I mean, you get Tank Dell back.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully you improve in some certain positions.
I'm sure free agents are very interested in Houston now. I think some guys are going to want to go play there.
Yeah, I would agree. What was I going to say? What's the other game? Oh, how do you not hope the Lions win the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
And unless you are a fan of one of the other teams, I feel like you're lying or you're just a bad person if you don't want the Lions to win. I've never rooted for a team more that I'm not a fan of than the Lions. Like Dan Campbell, his post game speeches, the little redemption arc for Jared Goff. I love Amon-Ra St. Brown. We've gone over this.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be my best take of all time.
Yeah, he did call it before he broke out last year. So,
like that man is an absolute dog. The fact that he didn't make the Pro Bowl this year, by the way, what are we talking about?
So many. I mean, you're telling me Derek Brown set the record for tackles by defensive linemen, had the best win rate on the inside, and just now got announced because some guys are going to be out. Like, come on now, it's crazy. And L'Jarius Sneed didn't allow a touchdown all year till last night, and Peyton Manning had to select him as an extra. Like, it's crazy. I think that game, though, I saw you and Clayton were talking about it on Twitter about the going for two.
Don't care. There is not a single thing in the world that somebody can tell me that's not the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Like, because the analytics have really just screwed it up so much because either way, you need two scores. You need two scores.
But 2 touchdowns. You're making it more difficult for yourself.
Right. So, like, when you look at it all, you go for 2 there. And if somehow you do get it, which, people seem to think it's like a guarantee nowadays because it's short yardage, then why don't teams always score when they're inside the 5? So, what up, Gridiron?
Gridiron was going on.
I mean, it's like I get the decision, but I don't think I'd do it in the playoffs. I just don't think I'm doing it in that situation. You need the ball back already. I mean, your offense hasn't been good all day, so the fact that you think you can drive down after the 2-minute warning and score, it's like, it's okay if we miss the first one because we're going to get the second one. It's like, no, probably not. Kick the field goal, just make it the touchdown, and then maybe you can think about going for 2 at the end there to win it. But
I think that's my thing. Like, since when has going into overtime become the most terrible thing in the world?
Mm-hmm. It's literally a coin toss. But it kind of is literally.
And not even that anymore, not in the playoffs, because now both teams get it.
Right, yeah.
With the new rule. Both teams get it, even if they score a touchdown in the first possession. And then from there, I think the next score wins. But, like, it makes absolutely zero sense to me.
Yeah, it's interesting.
You're like, yeah, we're going to go for 2, so then, if we score again, we win it with the extra point.
What'd you think about the kneel down timeout situation?
I didn't even know that until this morning. Like, when everybody was talking about it on Twitter and I saw McAfee talking about it, I had no idea what anybody was talking about.
I was screaming at my TV. I had Bucks money line. I was screaming, like, it's a rare chance they were going to score and win, but because Dan Campbell and Bulls were friends, so it's okay. We'll just let them go home.
Looking back on it, that is the weirdest thing ever.
3rd and 12.
What did he say, that there was, like, no point to it, or, like, they would have been down 11?
Yeah, but that's if he makes the field goal. This is the playoffs.
And it was a pretty long field goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were, like, at the, 38. And if it would have been another kneel down after the timeout, no, because they would have had to kick it right then and there. It was 3rd and 12, 37 seconds, play clock resets to 40.
50-something yard field goal? Is that what it would have been?
Yeah, you call a timeout there. You let him kick it. Hope he misses it. If he misses it, you get the ball close to midfield with, 30 seconds left. It's not a great shot at it, but come on. It's the playoffs. This is the season on the line.
That's what if the Seahawks were like, oh, the Cowboys are obviously making this. There's no point in doing it. Tony Romo fumbled that snap.
Yeah. Crazy.
What if it gets blocked with Vita Vea's big ass?
Exactly. It's insane that they just were like, yeah, we're out of here.
Yeah, no. Looking back on it, because like I said, nobody has said anything. Like, the broadcast didn't say anything about it.
No, they were just acting like that's normal. So take a timeout home in the playoffs when you have a chance.
Like I said, I absolutely 100% did not notice it at all. But, after everybody was talking about it, I was like, did that actually happen?
The Lions were assuming that too the second they got the ball. They didn't take long knees. Goff didn't take a couple steps back away to second to milk more. Snap kneel. They weren't milking the clock all the way down. They were giving them a chance. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, no, that is. It's funny because I was watching McAfee and Foxy was talking. He was like, "That's how you know it's the brand new Lions." He was like,
Brand
"Because back in the day,
I'm
they would have
happy for
called a
Fox, man.
timeout. They would have went to go kick the field goal. It gets blocked, returned for a touchdown." And McAfee was like, "I don't know. That's a pretty old Lions move to not know the clock situation." He was like, "No. It's brand new Lions because nothing bad happened." I
I'm
was like,
happy
"You
for
know what?
Fox.
He's kind of got a point here."
He's been screaming 10-7 in a playoff win for a long time. So
Years.
yeah, I'm happy he's having his moment. And even if I obviously I want the Chiefs to win because of my future, but if not the Chiefs, then absolutely the Lions because I can't have CMC go get a Super Bowl MVP, man. I just can't have it. I can't have it. But
Will
we still
that
have
be
a
the
fifth.
final straw?
We still have a fifth round pick from it, so we definitely won the trade, which is
Now,
what everyone was screaming to me.
how do you feel actually that they promoted from within for your GM?
I tweeted it yesterday. Someone said, like, how would you feel about, Evero head coach and Dan Morgan, just keep the guys inside. I'm all for Evero as head coach. We can get a good OC. I'm not happy with Dan Morgan being the GM. I mean, who has he learned after? David Tepper and
See,
Scott Fitterer.
that's why I brought it up. That's why I just thought about it because I saw a tweet before we came on. That was like, I can't remember who it was. It was like, with the current state of the team, is hiring within really the way to go here?
Like, he's
Then I
got
was like,
bad
you know what?
habits.
That is an excellent point.
Like, there is the chance that he's been sitting there this whole time and looking at every move like, oh, I think we should have done this. But the truth of the matter is he's going to be David Tepper's puppet. He hired from within. He said, hey, I just gave you, this dream job, the title and everything, but it's David Tepper making all the moves. That's what it's going to be. And I don't even know what we're going to do head coach wise. We're interviewing the OC from Tampa. He made Baker work. We couldn't, so maybe there's something there.
True.
But I don't know. I'm not excited for this season at all, or the off season. It's gonna be awful.
Gridiron, we mentioned this a little bit earlier, but I don't know. I'm indifferent. You know what I mean? Obviously, the Belichick coaching tree is not very good. First of all, as pointed out by Josh. But also, the dude's never been a head coach before. You know what I mean? So maybe if I had something to go on previously, it kind of leans you one way or another. But hey, it's a fresh start. I think the Patriots needed it, obviously. I would have been fine with Bill staying. I was not pushing him out the door as a coach. Keyword there, coach. I would have loved for him to stay as a coach and get a completely different GM somehow.
The Brad Stevens move.
Yeah, like if he wanted to, kind of the opposite because Stevens went from coach to like president of basketball. But if Bill just wanted to take a step down from that GM role and only coach, I would have been A-okay. Which, by the way, the fact that like the Falcons are the team that he's like leaning to go to,
I can't have it.
Well, it makes no sense to me. The whole problem with the Patriots is they don't have a quarterback. Like everything else, he can.
My nightmare is Justin Fields goes to Atlanta with Bill Belichick. That is my nightmare. Sounds like exactly what's going to happen now.
Has to get Harbaugh. I mean, hey, I wouldn't have been mad at Harbaugh at all.
Love the idea of Harbaugh in LA though with the Chargers. Love that so much.
I am a big fan of that.
This Chargers they got to get a good one.
Honestly, I would have been. You know who I really would have wanted that I just don't think. It's funny. My guy Chris always says this when I do the podcast with my boss. Would you rather be a member of the winning team or the leader of the losing team? You know what I mean? And like, I really wish, in a way, the Patriots could have like went out and got somebody like a Ben Johnson. That's the other thing. We've had defensive coaches forever. Like, obviously, you've had Bill there forever. And then, you have to imagine Mayo's a linebacker. He was the linebackers coach. And, he's going to be a defensive coach. And, like, the defense is not our problem. In fact, the defense was still pretty good. The offense is just absolute garbage.
Yeah.
So, like, I would have loved a defensive, offensive coach, somebody like a Ben Johnson. But that's the thing. If you're Ben Johnson, are you kind of sitting there waiting, like, knowing people are probably going to want you because of the Lions turnaround and like waiting for the perfect job? Or do you want to just stay with the Lions a little bit because it's like, damn, I probably got a chance to win a ring here as like an offensive coordinator. Like, yeah, being a head coach in the league is absolutely amazing. Like, there's only 32 of those jobs, but I probably had a better chance to like actually win and have fun here. But then again, listen, the Patriots in a good position. We got the third pick. We got the third pick. No.
You don't like Jaden Daniels? Heisman?
Well, listen, I don't really like anybody. You know the fact that I just don't watch college sports. Um, then again, see, I don't know. I don't really love anybody. Like, obviously, you got to listen to the draft analysis, but like Drake May, North Carolina, like I'm good. I've seen Mr. Trubisky play. Don't need it. Like, who do they play? Caleb Williams, kind of the Miami Dolphins, the Cowboys approach was terrible against great teams.
I feel like a lot of draft experts are just ignoring what happened this season with Caleb Williams.
That's what I'm saying. Like, oh yeah, he's a generational talent, once in a lifetime.
They just keep bringing up the Heisman years. Like that was before this bad season.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he was bad against good teams.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're in the NFL. You're going to play a lot of good people.
Probably, and you're going to be the top pick. So the team you're going to isn't
awful.
good. There's a reason they're getting you.
Well, I mean, then again, the Bears, if he gets drafted there, but wasn't the whole thing that if the Bears had the number one pick, he wasn't going to come out? But I mean, he came out anyway. So, like, is that actually true? Or, like, does he have inside information that a team's going to trade?
I hope they do. I think it'd be a mistake for Chicago not to get the biggest haul in trade history. And when you have a good, like, is Justin Fields the best in the world? No, but are you guaranteeing Caleb Williams is? Like,
I would. Who's a team that's a little further back that needs a quarterback?
So it's Washington is what, 2?
Washington's 2, so they're getting a quarterback no matter what. It's kind of just, do they want to be number one so they make sure they get the quarterback they want?
Mm-hmm.
Then it's the Pats.
I mean, Atlanta could be a player for the pick too. You know, the whole NFC South could be a player for the pick, except for us because we could have, but we didn't. Who else?
See, because in a way, I would kind of not be mad if they kept the first and what do they have? Like the first and what? 7?
First and it's the 2 top 10. I don't know the exact numbers.
Because they used to have the first and fourth for a while, but then they won games at the end. So like obviously they don't have the fourth anymore. If they still have the first and fourth, I say you can probably still get Marvin Harrison Jr. at that point because you would think that everybody's looking for a wide receiver. But I think the Cardinals are going to keep Murray. So like number 3 or fourth overall pick is probably going to be Marvin Harrison Jr. Mm-hmm. So like, do I absolutely hate it if they pick Marvin Harrison Jr. first overall, pair him up with DJ Moore,
get the guy weapons for once, maybe?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you get Marvin Harrison Jr., DJ Moore.
I think it's a crazy move that they were like, we're keeping Eberflus. Like, this might be the best coaching pool you could have.
You got Pete Carroll. You got
Pete Carroll, Jim Harbaugh, Bill. I mean, all these young OCs that balled out this year.
That was kind of wild to me. I can't lie to you.
And I think Chicago would have been arguably the more attractive than LA because you have your
honestly,
pick.
Chicago with all the assets they have might be the best coaching job open.
Right. Like,
I mean, obviously with the Chargers you have a lot of talent, but it's older talent. Like Bosa's a little older now.
And they're interviewing Cliff Kingsbury. Like, what are we doing, Chicago?
Are they really? I didn't see that.
They interviewed Cliff Kingsbury for the OC job.
Yeah, that's a bold strat.
I mean, you're basically saying, hey, we're going Caleb Williams there if you're going to do that.
That is a
because we all know how successful Cliff Kingsbury was in the NFL.
Yeah, that's a bold strategy for sure.
Classic Chicago, though. I mean, it's been a lot of bad decisions for a very long time.
That is true. Speaking of bad decisions, the last game we didn't get to was the 49ers and the Packers. A great game. I can't lie to you. I didn't really care who won going in. I kind of wanted the 49ers to win just because I do enjoy CMC, one of my favorite players. But then as the game went on, the Packers were in it. I kind of wanted the Packers to win just for the story.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have been wild that Shanahan's 1 in 30 when trailing by 5 points going into the fourth quarter, which is the craziest thing ever. I prematurely tweeted that he was a fraud after that 55-yard run because I thought 100% they get that 55-yard run. They're absolutely winning this game because they're at least going to kick a field goal. Obviously, that did not happen. But it sucks. And it's the same thing for the Bills kicker. That you have a good game or whatever, a good season, hell, even a good career with the Bills kicker. And then that last thing you do is going to be what everybody realizes. Like, Jordan, it was first down, brother.
Yeah, didn't have to. Don't play
They had
hero ball.
to have a timeout.
Yeah, they had time. They had timeout, and there was just
The whole
no need
middle of the
for it.
field's open. Like, just throw the ball away. And I will say, listen, I don't know if I'm still a 100% believer that he's like the next guy. But those 2 playoff games, did he look like a guy?
Yeah, I mean, it's
I mean,
obviously
he
it's
made
always good.
like those prime Aaron Rodgers looking throws. Like that throw against the Cowboys, back foot, just absolute dot in the back of the end zone. I dead ass looked at my TV screen. Like I was like,
Hello, is this working?
I was like, are we serious right now? Like I don't like you see like the funny videos and stuff like people reacting to games. Like I don't usually like audibly react to games unless it's the Patriots and then I'm, screaming this and that or whatever. But like I saw that and I genuinely like got out of my bed and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, crazy. I think it's gonna be tough his entire career because even if he's really, really good, you're following up back-to-back first ballot Hall of Fame.
4-time MVP and Aaron Rodgers.
He could be a 5-time Pro Bowler. He could have one of break a couple records for single season stats, get to a conference championship, have a really solid career. People will still be like, didn't live up to it.
Not Aaron Rodgers though.
Yeah, didn't live up to the hype.
Speaking of living up to things, maybe it's a salty Patriot Tom Brady fanboy in me. But what are we doing about GOAT conversations? What are we doing? Listen, he's been a starter for 6 years, 6 AFC championship games. He has like a 13-3.
He's never not played in the AFC championship.
You know what's crazy? Listen, if we're going by AFC championship games, who the GOAT is, Brady's been the GOAT for 40 years. Basically.
Listen, I'm not saying it's a conversation.
No, I know. But like, I just love the goalpost moving. Brady was not allowed to be the GOAT. Not allowed. Until he had more rings than Joe Montana. And even still, Joey Montana still 4 for 4. He's the best. I know Brady has 7.
But are you a little worried?
No.
So you don't see that?
You want to know why I'm never worried, though, Josh? Never. Never worried. Who are those 2 losses to?
Eli? Oh, wait. Are you talking about Mahomes?
Yeah. Who did he lose to in the playoffs? Not once, but twice.
They're Tom Brady.
So listen.
But then it's a situation. But then it's the same situation where, your arguments for Brady's losses are Brady balled out. He threw for 500 against Philly. Frank Clark was offsides. That's not Mahomes' fault.
Yeah, no. Listen. But here's the thing. If I was arguing for Brady to be the GOAT and he didn't have all his accomplishments, and I was saying, but, then I would get you. But he does have all the accomplishments, and he just happened to lose those 3 games where in the Eagle one, he balled out. The 2 Giant ones, listen, he didn't really ball out. I mean, they were held in check. Great Giant defenses, obviously, but that Eagle one, 505 yards, best performance in a losing Super Bowl of all time, easily. Mm-hmm. But like, here's my thing: 7 rings. I mean, went to an AFC Championship game 8 times in a row. It's still the record. Mahomes, has 2 years. He might break that very easily. Potentially, of course.
All I'm saying is never not being in the AFC Championship to start your
career. What about making it 8 years in a row? You know that Brady went to 4 playoffs?
Listen, I hear you.
Just one more thing. You know that Brady went to 4 playoffs before losing his first playoff game?
I hear you. He's the GOAT. He's the best to do it.
Went to 3. It was 9-0 in the playoffs before he lost a single game.
He's the GOAT. There is no argument.
No, I get what you mean. There is,
but
just find it funny.
But
he had no. Hold on, because he had to pass Mr. Montana and all these stats and these rings and these MVPs for him to be the GOAT. Then
Montana might not be that good. Brock Purdy is compared.
Then Aaron Rodgers comes along. Oh well, he has just more natural talent than Brady. That's why I think he's the best. Now Mahomes is going to championship games, and he obviously has the talent. I think that's why he's the go now. Listen, give me a call when we invent time machines. First of all, he has to get 8 rings. Okay?
8 of them things you can't tie it up with better numbers.
No,
and better
Brady
record?
wasn't allowed to be the GOAT until he got 5. So I want to see 8 rings.
I don't know if that's true.
I think it's damn. Listen, I was a Patriot fan that whole time. I know what people were saying. I was locked in.
But I think
I've been fighting Brady GOAT arguments for my whole life.
Yeah, I don't think you have to fight him too much. I think it's undisputed.
Now it is. But I'm saying back in the day, there was an argument going on.
Definitely, because I mean, if my quarterback best in franchise history was labeled the GOAT for so long, you best believe he's the GOAT forever to me. Like, I will tell you that every time you bring it up.
When we can invent time machines and somebody can go back and have Mahomes beat Brady in that Super Bowl or beat Brady in that AFC. Well, let me remind you too. Quick little one. Brady went into Mahomes' home, into Arrowhead.
He did.
And beat him. All right?
Well, Frank Clark helped him out a little bit. Listen, all I'm saying is I know you'll never give it to him unless he wins 10 Super Bowls and never loses another one. And even then, you'll still be like, but Brady beat him. So I get it'll be very, near impossible to convince you, even if Mahomes down the road is clearly the best quarterback to ever do it. All I'm saying is there is a path. I think it's unlikely because so many things have to go right. The team has to kind of stay together. Andy Reid's getting a little old. I don't know if he's got the Belichick longevity. So it's going to be interesting to see. But, man, never not being in the conference championship is just kind of crazy, though.
Yeah, I mean, Brady did it 8 years in a row. So
but never not. Like, you can't find a year where he wasn't there. Final Four every year. Kind of crazy.
What was I going to say?
I want to say this. It's been a good week for my GOAT as well. I mean, Cam Newton has been on fire for a little bit now.
His arguments about Dak and everybody, he's looking mighty good on it.
Some respect on his playing time, too. I mean, I thought he was the worst quarterback to ever do it, but it looks like, the sun's shining a little bit over here in the Cam fandom. It's a beautiful thing.
What's funny? I'm almost being turned into a Cam supporter for the simple fact. But it's not because I have my opinions on it.
He's coming around, guys. He's coming around.
No, it's not. My opinion, listen, never had a back-to-back winning season. I mean, Jesus. Anyway, but the fact that what's that clown's name that fills in for
Jason McIntyre, I think is
clown. Dude's an absolute tool.
So how do you even like it? No world in their prime, at the beginning of their career, would anyone ever pick Dak over Cam Newton? Not a single person that has ever watched a football game from either of them.
No, MVP season Cam Newton might be a top 10 quarterback of all time.
Dominated the whole league. There's never going to be a situation in any year of Dak's career where the league decides, Dak was the best one out there this time. No. It's never going to happen. No. The whole league did it for Cam, though.
I mean, I still think he should have won that MVP. But...
No, he won it fair and square.
Yeah,
and listen, man, it's also helped me out too because people are starting to realize that Broncos defense is like top 3 all-time defenses.
I mean, what are we talking about? People didn't know this before? Come on.
No, because apparently the only reason we lost that game is because of one fumble, not because Devin Funchess got robbed of a catch or Ted Ginn has bricks for hands.
I mean, he should have jumped on it.
No, I'm glad he saved his health because he knew the team wasn't going to help him out.
How'd that work out for him?
You know what? It didn't because the league hates him. And we see it with Josh Allen now, too. People freak out when he doesn't get a flag. Yeah, welcome to my life. God, TJ Watt headbutt that guy straight to the ground, and ref didn't bat an eye. But one thing that has been bothering me lately, seeing all the success with D'Amico Ryans, is like, man, why didn't Luke Kuechly just jump straight into coaching? He'd be such a good head coach.
And that's a smart man.
Like, he'd be so good. When he retired, I thought that was the move. Like, I was shocked, as everyone else was, when he announced his retirement.
It's that wheel route.
Yeah, just knew every play. Just was all over the field.
That wasn't Kuechly. That was fucking Clay Matthews against Cam Newton.
You been watching film? Watch this.
Watch this.
I mean, and it's I'm not
No,
gonna
but
get
Luke
too.
Kuechly was an absolute demon.
I'm not gonna get too triggered, but it does bother me sometimes when people are like, "Man, Michael Vick was so special to watch." Like, what? But Cam didn't jump on a fumble, so he's dead to us. God,
I
fuck.
think it's you see. Here's the thing. I think it's just the generation thing. It's just like I said. It's just the
It's the
same thing.
fancy hats. It's the fancy hats and the scarves.
I mean,
He's
he's
not
kind of cool,
serious
but
about himself.
I can't listen. One of my main reasons for hating Cam Newton too, by the way, no human being should ever text like that.
Yeah.
With those stupid ass.
He
Josh,
said
come
he
on,
texted Bill
give
Belichick like that too.
give me something here though. He's an idiot. He's a tool for that. Give me
No,
something.
he's unique. He's one of one. You
Oh,
can't recreate it.
oh, brother.
I am very happy he's starting to get some of his flowers that have been owed to him for a very long time now. I'm very happy about that. And I see you coming around. You'll deny it, but one day you'll come out here and be like, you know what? Cam was actually a dog, bro. He was so good.
I'll never be a dog ever again.
We'll
Not
enjoy
since that New England season.
highlights.
Not that New England season. I'll never
A couple
forget
good games.
Yeah.
But then, broken shoulder, COVID. The virus that shut down the world, yeah, he got that. Sorry he wasn't playing so good. He got the virus that shut down the whole entire world. Sorry, guys. Sorry he wasn't winning.
Thanks a lot, Rudy.
Sorry he wasn't winning with who were even your receivers there? Was N'Keal Harry the top dog out there?
I think Myers. No, I think he played a year with Edelman.
Yeah, old as last dead legs Julian Edelman. Don't
disrespect my goat like that.
He should have for sure.
Don't disrespect my goat slot receiver.
Josh McDaniels calling plays too. What a genius! He must have drawn up some amazing things.
Super Bowl winning Josh McDaniels.
Oh, he had a big hand in that, didn't he?
You know what the craziest part is? I was watching TV and somebody said it, bro. This man, Bill O'Brien, Bill O'Brien, right?
Legend.
Has been a member of the Patriots coaching staff numerous times.
Mm-hmm.
Numerous. Went to Alabama. I think once or twice, maybe.
A couple times, yeah.
Josh, you know how many rings he has?
Does he have a ring?
Do you know how many rings he has?
He's got to have one. I'll say one.
Zero.
No shot. He's got 0 rings.
This man.
That's crazy.
The Patriots staff and the Alabama staff. This man has no rings.
That's why he's so angry all the time, because he's like, I've been to the two most dominant teams in college and pro, and I don't got a single
is one. That even?
They didn't even give him hey, you weren't here, but you were, your presence was felt. They didn't even give him a pity ring.
No, not even a pity ring.
Barry Sanders better get not pity ring, but he better get a ring if they win.
I mean, let's see here. So he was the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach in 2007. Hey, you got to give him credit. No, he was the offensive assistant in 2007, the perfect year. They don't win. 2008, he was there. They don't win. 2009 to 10, they don't win. 2011, they don't win. When the Patriots were 2014. So let's see. 2014, he was the coach of the Texans all the way up to 2020. That's when the Patriots were winning 3 additional rings. Alabama, he was their offensive coordinator, 21 to 22. What? That was Georgia?
Yeah, that was Bryce Young getting killed because his receivers got hurt. Mechie and Jameson Williams got hurt, so they lost. Yeah.
And then he came back to New England for 2023. So this man was with the Patriots from 2007 to 2011. Not a single ring. Went to Alabama for a couple seasons. Not a single ring.
That is tough. That is a tough life there. I mean, a lot of winning. He's a part of a lot of winning, just not the ultimate win. Just never got to the mountaintop. But was hanging around to say, good job, guys. Congrats. Happy for you.
You know what we call that? Tough life.
Tough
life.
Tough. Who do you like more? Grid Ironic pose a good question. He says he prefers Welker to
here's my thing. I think this is an era situation. Well, again, I was around for a lot of Welker.
Yeah, he got there in what, like 03 from Dallas? He was there early because he was in Dallas in that was like 05.
No, he wasn't there that long, was he?
He had to have been there super early though.
He was on the no 07. That's what I thought. 07 to 2012.
Hmm.
I think I prefer Edelman just because I'm more familiar with him, and I feel here. Hey, here's my thing too. I think Edelman came up in the big moments better, brother.
But is
I
there an
mean,
Edelman without a Wilker?
maybe not, but you know what? There is another ring on the Patriots' finger because of Edelman, and you
That
know what?
catch is iconic. The catch is
The
iconic.
catch against the Falcons, the catch in the Seattle Super Bowl that's underrated, where he got absolutely demolished by
Mm-hmm.
Cam Chancellor over the middle and held
That
on to the
Wally
ball.
Pip clip of Belichick going over to Welker. He's like, "You ever heard of Wally
Have you
Pip?"
ever heard of Wally Pimp?
That's so bogus of Bill, man. So bogus.
No, you know what other one the one that I really like, where Edelman always like pretends to be Bill. He's like, hey, hey, Bill. No, he's like, hey, Edelman. Do you know who your right guard is? And he's like, Coach, I'm not sure. He's like, it's Sebastian fucking Vollmer, and all pro. You might want to actually heard of the guy. Oh my god, Edelman telling Bill stories is one. Honestly, Edelman is so much more entertaining than I think he gets credit for. Because like I've been seeing him like he does his own podcast now. I've seen him be guest on a couple things. He was a guest on the on the on Brady's podcast with that dude that he does. Did you hear this one about the story with him, Randy, and Bill?
Mm-mm. I didn't see that one.
Bill in the off season, he's like Edelman was like, yeah, Bill always did like those motivational things in the off season. He brought everybody in or whatever, showing us highlights of Tiger Woods and how he's hitting range balls when he's better than everybody, putting in the extra work, blah blah blah. And he goes like 2 weeks later, that's when the Tiger Woods scandal came out with that girl, and we're in the warm up lines doing stretches, and all you hear is Randy go, "Hey Bill." Hey, Bill, how about Tiger fucking Woods now? And he was like, the entire team just lost it.
Man, I bet those teams are probably so fun, like during the regular season, to be just a part of.
Oh,
Just, I mean, talent all around, but then knowing now that there are like awesome personalities on the team as well.
bro, like, just go listen to Edelman tell stories.
Yeah, I've watched a couple of them. He does it with
Like,
who's that with? Sam Morrell or something? Is that who he
I
does it
don't
with?
know.
His
I don't,
podcast.
I don't know. I think he just I don't know. He has like random people, and I know that. Like, he has a lot of.
He has one that he used to do with a comedian. I can't remember.
There was another one where he was telling stories about how Randy hated meetings. He was like, that's y'all gonna make these meetings gonna make my ass retire. and he was like, we had a terrible practice one day, and like we had a meeting about it or whatever, and Randy walked in. He was like, "Don't worry, coach, I got him. We can skip this meeting, right?" And he was like, "Yeah, you know what, Randy, like you talk to him, whatever, blah blah blah." And he was like, "See, you guys got to stop being ass because these meetings really gonna make my ass retire." Just Edelman telling stories is hilarious, though.
I'm glad a lot of former athletes do podcasts now. A lot of great content.
No, I really, at first it was kind of like, gee, it kind of became like an influencer thing. You know what I mean? Where it's like, why did the understudy of, Wizards of Waverly Place have a podcast now? Like, what do you have a podcast?
Being rebooted.
Yeah, I did see that, and I kind of started feeling that way with athletes, and I was like, brother, this person has a podcast. This person has a podcast. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. And 100% has more to do with how I feel about you than if your podcast is actually good. I am that person. I will absolutely hate your podcast just
You
because
tell me you don't tune into Cam's fourth?
not a
Really?
single episode will I ever.
You're missing out. Missing out.
But again, listen, I say that, but I also don't listen to a lot of these former athlete podcasts. Like, I'm locked into my like Joe Rogan random one, if he has somebody that I know on, or the Michael K show. Like, I fall because I miss the Michael K show now working all the time. So that's AirPod in.
You got to start listening to the pod.
No, I listen to the pod.
Did you watch the last episode?
I didn't watch. I haven't seen it yet. Is that
Ty,
the
Ty
Hulkster
does an
one?
impression of Hulk Hogan at
Oh my!
karaoke. He starts
Oh, at
singing songs.
karaoke. Oh no, I gotta watch that.
It's hilarious because Hulk Hogan like helped someone in a car
Yeah,
accident
the
after
car
he got
accident.
baptized.
Nah,
It's
Ty's
so
impressions be
funny.
having me crying.
He sings like he sings Africa. He sings what else does he sing? It's so his impressions are so good, so
No,
good.
so unbelievable. Um, hey, listen, you got anything else?
Did anything else happen in the NFL?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff. Nothing that I mean, can't get into all of it. We were
You
gone
watch
for.
any Thunder basketball lately? The MVP of the
I'm,
league?
I'm just so out of basketball. I've determined it. I just don't. I
God,
don't
get
think.
in, man. The Thunder are cooking, and
I
I had
know.
my
That's the
whole
thing that
team.
upset. See, that's the thing that upsets me too. Is like I'm fully out when they're finally good again.
I had my most popular tweet of all time on a Thunder
Really?
tweet. I got 1,200 likes.
Okay.
I don't like it though because a lot of people agreeing with me, but then one guy asked, "Are you 8 years old?" And the other one was like, "You sound like Josiah. You have no idea what a good team looks like." And I was like, all I did was say, I said that this Thunder squad, like the core of this team, I like it
Oh, I
more than
saw
I
that
like the
tweet.
KD era.
I
Like,
saw
and
that
I don't
tweet.
think that's crazy. We have a top three player. We had a top three player back then, but instead of just a co-star, we have all the assets in the world and a great core. So I mean, I don't think it's crazy to say I like this team. Or and trust me, I was in the mud with that Thunder squad. I saw there was two and a bunch of misfits. So I'm not some 8-year-old whoever said that. And I'm glad I'm not super popular on Twitter or anything because just that showed me I don't think I could have the tough skin for it because a lot of people agreeing like, oh, I was thinking about this the other day, but the second I saw "Are you 8 years old?" I'm like, dude, this sucks. Like, get this out of my
I
face.
will say, we get a lot of comments on the Taking Action show that I do, and like obviously not everybody's positive. I think I can handle being famous because I promise you, don't care.
See, I think
I will forever
I
say
would need us to be famous together for it to work for me because I'd be like, Connie, I can't do. He called me 8 years old again. I
yeah.
can't keep
See,
doing
I
this.
got people like talking crap, like oh yeah, like what are these two fat guys talking about? And I'm like,
My problem
I
is I
mean,
get so defensive so fast, and then I'm like, why am I even mad at this?
I will. That's what I'm saying. I think that'll forever be like my favorite thing about me is I like a lot of people say it. And I feel like don't mean it, but I promise you, I don't care what you think about me. I
See, I've
promise.
been trying to not take myself as seriously to work on that. Like, not like be like, okay, you don't like me, I don't
That's
care. I've been
you know
trying to
what?
do that
My
a lot.
only word of advice to all the people out there: can't love anybody else until you love yourself.
That is
There's
true.
there's
Very
not a
true.
single person on this planet
Mm-hmm.
that likes me more than me.
I
Nobody.
had something on Thanksgiving. We had Thanksgiving at my sister's house. So we go to Walmart, right? And when I was growing up, my house was a daycare. That's what my mom did for a living. She babysat all of her friends' kids. Kid I grew up with, literally grew up with, see him at Walmart. He looks at me, he goes, "Oh, hey, uh," and I'm like, "You don't remember my name? We grew up together." And it killed my day. And then I go to my sister's house, and my nephew Leo is like my best friend. That's my boy. We're Ninja Bros. And he
Okay.
calls me Alex, which is my brother's name. And then I go, "That's not my name, Leo. You know my name." He's like, "Yeah." Silence. I was like,
See,
"Dog, I'm about to walk out. I'm about to leave. I can't do this."
see, it's right. See, it's right there where I would agree with the other people though, because I am so bad with names. Like, oh my god, if you tell me your name, it's absolutely useless to me. Unless you send me a picture of who you are, I don't know who you are. Like even today, my mom asked me. She was like, "Do you know such and such? Like, graduated from where I went to high school this year. She was a sophomore or she was a junior up." And I was like, I have no idea that person ever took a breath of air. I'm like, I have to go. I was like, I'll go look at my yearbook, but like you telling me that name absolutely means
You
nothing.
guys wound up being best friends your entire childhood.
No,
Like,
that's the worst part too. Like I'll like somebody will say me a name to me. I'm like, never heard of them. There's no way that's a real person. I'll see a picture and be like, oh yeah, like they were in my third period class. Like I kind of messed with them a little bit. And I'm like, that was their name?
that was their name. Ew, that's such an ugly name.
I'd be like, oh, would have never guessed. I mean, I can never be famous. Give me 5 minutes of fame. Suddenly I'm Roseanne, Louis C.K., and R. Kelly rolled in. That is crazy. That is a
That
wild
is
statement.
that is.
Gridiron, and to answer this question, Gridiron. Listen, I know you tune in for the football stuff. We're an all-year program. I mean, now listen, have we missed a lot of time? Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But no, we're an all-year. I mean, listen, we'll jump into Josh probably, but I'll throw my 2 cents in. We'll jump into basketball more. Obviously, we got the draft to cover. Then you go into off-season football stuff. I'm a big baseball guy. Josh
Draft
got
is
into
always fire. Honestly, I was going to bring that up the other day. Like when there was no football and stuff, I was actually like, man, I could go watch some MLB games right now. Like I actually felt like that.
I'm saying. I mean, I don't know. I think that's why I love baseball too. It's such like a comforting thing. Like going home and being like, yeah, there's a game on tonight is like absolute therapy to me.
Yeah,
absolute therapy. Because and it's the same reason for like the simple fact of like I've grown up with like the same voices forever. Like Michael Kay has been the voice of the Yankees forever, and like they're like co-stars or whatever, and like just every single night of like, okay, there's a Yankee game on a 7. There's a Yankee game on a 7. Like it's funny. Like I'm lost sometimes during football season when like there's nothing to do, but it's always something to look forward to. Like that's how I kind of get through football season, where it's like, oh, it's Monday, there's a game on. And then it's Tuesday. It's like, damn, there's no game on tonight, but there's a game on Thursday. And then it's Wednesday. And I'm like, okay, lit. There's a game on tomorrow. And then it's Thursday. I'm like, okay, the game's on. Friday, I'm like, damn, not until Sunday. But then it's Saturday. And I'm like, oh, there's games tomorrow. Let's go. Like, that's how I get through the season. So, like, I kind of like, but it's so weird. And it doesn't make sense because it's so constant. But baseball season, I'm even more lost because of the fact that, like, it genuinely is there, like, every single night. Like if all of us like Monday through Sunday, the Yankees are playing, and then all of a sudden they have the next Monday off, I'll like look at my TV and I'm like, what do you like? There's not a game on tonight. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, what am I supposed to do right now? And there's nothing worse too than like, oh yeah, the Yankees play tonight. It's going to be a fun game. Blah blah. Rain delay, game canceled. I'm like, what am I like? What do I do now? So I can't wait for baseball season. Very excited, especially because Juan Soto, baby, on the Yankees. Ooh, pitching is going to be a big issue. Big issue.
Yeah, but Juan Soto, baby.
But seeing Juan Soto and Aaron Judge back to back, can't wait. Very excited.
2 home runs a game each. Still lose every game, 7-4.
And I still might be very happy. I won't be, but it's possible. All right. Listen, I think that about does it for this show as we continue to mumble on. Anthony Conover _ Make sure you check me out there. Make sure you go check out Taking Action with Chris Colombo, which I am also the co-host on. Go get us some subscribers over there. I think we're at like, let me tell you, how many subscribers are we at right now? We're at about 7270. So, we're climbing. Let's get to 10K. Hoping to get there very soon. Do a lot of football stuff, same that we do here, but, we got some celeb interviews and stuff over there as well. A lot of fun stuff, a lot of stories. So go check that out. And, yeah, that's all. That's it for me. Gridiron, you enjoy the championship games as well. We will be back Monday. You hear that, Josh? We're back Monday.
Hey, I'm all in, baby.
All right.
Yeah. Follow me on Twitter at Jolin_4. Make sure you subscribe to Generational Sports. I'm not gonna lie. You can try to use code Gen Z. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I think that this is the time of the year where we've renewed it, but I haven't talked to them lately yet.
Really?
I think we're after it actually.
Actually, you might be right because I used
the middle of basketball season last year, right?
Because I used all of my free money on the Super Bowl last year.
I used all mine on basketball, and it was about the middle of the season. So
you should hit them up.
Yeah, so we'll have to talk to them, but keep an eye out for that. Who knows? Maybe some other news. Who knows? Stay tuned. But yeah, tune in next Monday, and we'll be back.
All right, everybody, and listen, we'll catch you on the next one.